Hi, I'm James, a knee, foot and ankle specialist, and today we're going to talk you through a comparison of the Hoka Rincon 4, which has just come out, and the latest model of the Hoka Mach 6. So first of all, we're going to talk about the stack height and the weight. So mine is a 46 EU or a size 12 US. Comes in at 258 grams on our scale in the Rincon 4, and in the Mach 6 they come in slightly heavier at 283 grams. There's 37 mils on the rear foot of the Mach 6 and 32 grams on the forefoot, giving a 5 mil drop, and slightly lower 36 mils on the rear foot on the Rincon 4 and 31 mils on the forefoot, giving you a 5 mil drop as well. So then in terms of the upper, despite Hoka moving away from the more tapered fit in some of its other models, we have a really tapered fit both on the Mach 6 and on the Rincon, so it felt really snug on our foot. A little bit tight, so I'd say either choose the wide version if it's available, or size half up if you find that you have a wider foot or that you naturally find the Hokas are quite tight. There's a slightly different upper on each, so you've got a double technical jacquard mesh on the Rincon 4. On the Mach 6 you've got a creel jacquard knit, which I find a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more snug than what you'd find on the Rincon 4. In terms of the tongues, they're slightly different as well. You've got a really thin tongue on the Mach 6 that's gusseted, so it doesn't move from side to side, while on the Rincon 4 you've got a more padded tongue that's not jacquard, so it can move from side to side. But with the lockdown and runs, we found that it stayed pretty centered because you got the laces passing through the tongue, but it didn't have quite as good a lockdown as what we found on the Mach 6, which is really snug, really sock-like fit. Both of them are quite breathable. If anything, I'd say the Mach 6 was a little bit more breathable than the Rincon. Then we've had a lot of changes in the Rincon 4, an updated midsole, an updated outer. So on the outer sole they've placed some rubberized EVA, which they say is to increase the traction and the durability. We know there was lots of issues with the Rincon 3, so they've added that extra padding there, and the Mach 6 has a little bit of extra rubberized padding on the outside as well. However, where the big differences occur are in the midsole itself. So you've got a standard EVA foam that you get in most of Hoka's shoes within the Rincon 4, whereas in the Mach 6 you've got supercritical foam, so it's super bouncy, super resilient, especially we found when you increase the tempo, increase the pace, you get a lot of bounce, a lot of feedback there. They both have an aggressive forefoot rocker and a nice heel counter, so we found that the heel to toe transition was really nice and the propulsion phase was really nice, but a lot more bounce and a lot better feel when you have increased pace with the Mach 6. So overall, I'd say not a huge amount of difference in terms of the fit and the feeling on the top in terms of breathability, slightly different in the tongue and the jacquard mesh, but huge difference in the feel underneath the foot on the midsole, so a lot more up-tempo, a lot more bounce and resilience from the Mach 6. I'd say the Rincon 4 is completely different in the Rincon 3, so check out our full review on the Rincon 4. It's a little bit more like the Mach 6, but a bit more like an entry-level Mach 6, whereas this is more like a premium up-tempo shoe. This is like an entry-level up-tempo shoe. So if you're looking for something that's slightly cheaper, you want to get an introduction to a more performance-based shoe, then you might look at the Rincon 4. But honestly, given the price, it's only slightly more expensive for the Mach 6. I tend to go with the Mach 6 if you're really looking for that more performance-based trainer. If you've got any questions on the shoes, please leave them in the comment section below. And if you found the video helpful, check out our video on the Rincon 4 review. We've got a Mach 6 review and lots of shoe content.